It's time now for County-Wide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Brad Miller as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives here in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's County-Wide.
Coordinator for Friends of the Verde River Greenway in studio today. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you. Well,
good to have you. And then Tina Blake, Development Director at West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation, who just barely squeaked by and got in the door.
It's a long one.
I know. But welcome to studio, Tina.
Thank you.
Great to see both of you. So we're going to talk a little bit about Arizona Gives Day and then give you both a chance to kind of talk about your organizations. We couldn't have every organization, of course, in Yavapai County and the state come in and talk, but let's go ahead and start. Who wants to tell me what Arizona Gives Day is all about?
Well, I can start talking a little bit about it. Arizona Gives Day started last year. It's an all-day online giving day where the nonprofit community outreaches to donors, foundations, individuals that would like to donate to nonprofits one day a year, and it's all online giving. Last year there was over 600 nonprofits that participated, and this year they're looking for around 800 nonprofits that are participating.
Statewide?
Statewide.
So now how does the donation kind of go? Well, before we do that, let's back up. Do we know how Arizona Gives Day kind of came about?
Yes, there's a lot of other states that do this. We kind of followed Colorado in doing this. There's a really good one in Michigan as well. Oh no, Minnesota, I'm sorry.
Okay.
One of the M states.
Okay.
And then we kind of piggybacked off of them. Last year we raised close to $250,000, and we're hoping to raise even more to the nonprofit community. We find that it takes a burden off the donor because they know that it's coming once a year to be able to give, and it's easy. It's online. Everything gets through. They have competitions for this. It's done through the Alliance for Nonprofits and the Arizona Grant Makers Association, and they put together some donors that donate prizes. So as an example, last year I had the most donors for a rural area, and I won a $2,500 prize for my nonprofit. Nice. Yeah, so they have a little bit of a competition in there as an incentive, but the nonprofits really work closely together to make this day successful for all of us.
We have two completely different nonprofits here today.
Yes, yes.
Anybody from any nonprofit across the state can participate. So you do get a variety of organizations, and there's over 60 of us in Yavapai County that are participating, and there are folks like us who represent river groups, to Big Brothers Big Sisters, to Boys and Girls Clubs. So there's a real variety of folks that are participating.
I went to the website today. We should probably mention that it's azgives.org is the website, azgives.org. And there's a link there that you can click on, of course, and says it says participants. And it's a huge list of participants. But it was very easy to go down the list and kind of see a lot of stuff named Verde Valley or Yavapai County. So it was really easy to locate.
Yeah, you can even look through the zip code. And most likely, if you already have a relationship with a nonprofit, it's probably on there. But it's also nice to find new nonprofits to donate to and kind of venture out to help quite a few nonprofits.
So this was kind of a goal. It reminds me of the fire department at Christmas time, change the batteries in your smoke detector because you're buying batteries for toys. This is kind of geared towards everybody in Arizona on this day. Become aware that it's Arizona Gives Day, and if you want to find a nonprofit that you'd like to help and participate with, it's the perfect time to do it. Now, do I have to worry about maybe bogus or fake nonprofit being listed on the site?
No. In order to actually get listed on the site, on the online registration site, you have to be a registered 501c3, or you cannot be on the site. They actually confirm that through the IRS, so they know that you're already legitimate and that you can receive donations. So that's already done behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about somebody just putting themselves up there and saying that they're a nonprofit.
Good, because that is something that we definitely have to worry about these days, is these scam artists that are out there with these fake charities.
No worry with that.
How do you go about getting, what was the, I know the sign-ups are over now. I went there today just to look if people could still sign up, and the deadline had come and gone, and late deadline I think was March 21st, so that's over. But how did you find out about it, and how did you go ahead and start signing up for this?
Well, I'm part of the Alliance for Nonprofits, and they're the ones that are participating in doing spearheading Arizona Gives Day, so that's how I heard about it. But also through the nonprofit sector, it goes by pretty quickly of filtering through information. Like I said, the nonprofit sector, especially in northern Arizona, we're pretty close-knit to where we inform each other about what's happening. We have limited resources as far as manpower and finances, so we do have to collaborate and work together to be successful to meet the needs of our community.
It's really nice that everybody will get together and work together as nonprofits instead of, no, we want the money, so we're not going to mention you.
Yeah. Some of our colleagues did it here in the Verde Valley last year, Verde Valley Land Preservation, so we said, well, this year we want to get together with some of us who do related work around the river and that, and so Verde Valley Land Preservation, Oak Creek Watershed Council, the Verde River Nature Organization, Friends of Verde River Greenway, the National NRCD Ed Center, we've all gotten together to sort of help get the word out about ourselves, but also about each other, because we want people to know that we're working together collaboratively here, and that we all are part of Arizona Gives Day, and if we do well, then one of us does well, then we all do well.
Exactly. I was looking at some of their stats from the first year that this took place, which was last year. Apparently it started getting kind of organized way back in 2004, so it took a few years to get it launched and off the ground. Red tape and all that, I imagine, but it says 8,584 donors last year, made 11,176 donations. Now, it was held on March 20th last year, but this year we're on April 9th. Is that because it's like a week away from tax date, or do we know why it's
really, right before taxes.
Yeah, I know.
Make your donations.
You know, it was just kind of the luck of the draw when they were scheduling it.
Okay.
March was kind of a difficult time for spring break and some of the things that were happening for the nonprofits. But usually there's no perfect day because us nonprofits are doing events, and we're always looking for money and doing appeals. So there's no perfect day to have Arizona Gives Day. But I think it's really nice that it's in April this year. And
spring is sprung.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of a renewal, a rebirth for the nonprofit sector.
Kind of kick you all into gear and get you going for the year, right?
Yeah.
Well, it says it says the campaign raised more than $1 million in March 2013, which is awesome.
Sorry.
807 nonprofits. I'm sure. Well, no,
no, I think it was $1 million. Yeah.
$1 million. Yeah. And then
maybe I'm thinking in northern Arizona.
Probably. 807 nonprofits signed up for the 2013 campaign. 80% of those organizations received one or more donations. It said some may have received one donation, some received a bunch of donations. You said you won a competition last year for the rural Arizona portion of it. But it did mention that one of the best things that came out of it was just word of mouth and getting the word out about nonprofits. That is really what this is about.
We've started doing email campaigns out to our constituents and asking them to tell about their friends about what we're doing, and so that word of mouth and that this is online, it's sort of easy to spread the word. So we send out emails to say, tell us, you know, here, this is what we've been doing, tell your friends what we've been doing. And we've also had some great support from our local newspapers here to also help spread the word, so that's been good.
And I should probably mention to everybody watching too and listening that if you have something coming up and you're a nonprofit and maybe you'd like to come in and sit down like Tina and Laura are doing today, you know, just give me a call at the station or send me an email at news@myradioplace.com. And if you can't come in and do a county-wide program, I can at least do a story up to talk about maybe an event that's coming up. And I love doing that stuff because as much as we talk about the bad news that's going on, we should level it out with some of the good news that's going on. So we should definitely do that. Let's take a little break.
Okay.
You guys ready for a little break? Sure. All right. Tina Blake, she's the Development Director at West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation. Laura Jones, the Community Outreach Coordinator for Friends of the Verde River Greenway. Whew. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
I'm 1 on Bookie Guide. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away. But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size.
We know what you told us.
There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat. Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm Paul David. Tina Blake, the Development Director at West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation, in studio today. I've got to look down at this. They're such awesome long titles. Laura Jones is the Community Outreach Coordinator for Friends of the Verde River Greenway. We've heard about both of those for many, many years. azgives.org is the website you want to go to, and it's coming up on April 9th. Now, the two of you, and I've actually received several emails now. I think I got one from Prescott Creeks yesterday. A lot of nonprofits are kind of planning... it's a day of celebration for you guys,
Right.
AZ Gives Day. And so a lot of folks are organizing events for that day to take place. I imagine it's the same for you.
We've got two going on here. One is going to be at the Field Coffee House in Sedona, so there'll be some of us nonprofits that are working together to get the word out about Arizona Gives Day that will be there to talk to people, ask their questions, give information about the work that we do. And then at the Rendezvous in Old Town, we'll be there all day from 2 to 11 with some fun raffles and things like that. And it's a day for people to come out, again, learn about what we do, celebrate the work that we do, and to connect with those nonprofits in the community. And we welcome any nonprofit to come with us, particularly at the Rendezvous event. There will be at least 5 of us there that are working together to talk to people about the work that we do. But anybody else who wants to come down and talk to people, it's a great opportunity. And we're spreading the word, putting it out all over Facebook, on the internet, it'll be in the newspaper this weekend, and we want as many people to come out and sort of participate, or just go online, like you were saying, to azgives.org and find out about us there.
And again, you're asking people to share their money with you, but then you're sharing the spotlight at these events with other groups. Tina, do you have something going on that day?
I do. I'm doing a evening celebration from 6 to 8 at El Gato Azul in Prescott, Arizona, where you can come down and have some tapas and celebrate the work that we do for mental health in the community. And then there's a computer where you can do an online donation right there. I know in the Prescott area, just because I'm in that area, Prescott Creeks is an example. They're doing cupcakes by the creek and all sorts of different things throughout the day.
Yeah, they've got events there too.
Yeah. So a lot of the nonprofits are taking the time, like Laura said, to celebrate what they do, educate, and connect with others. And I think that's really important to know that, again, us nonprofits, we have limited resources as far as staffing and finances. So we have to work together. And we find that as we work together, there's abundance for all, and that we can really do more things for our community to
benefit
them.
That's really awesome. I think that's really awesome. Let's give the website again. azgives.org. April 9th is the date. You want to look at that one. All right, let's real quick talk about your individual organizations and what you've got going on, since you did reach out to me to come in and do this today. Laura, you're with the Friends of the Verde River Greenway. I know we've talked a little bit about this with Steve Estes, but not a whole lot. So give me kind of an idea what you guys do.
Sure. Friends of Verde River Greenway was established in 2007 to work with the state parks, Arizona state parks, around the Greenway here in Cottonwood. And our mission has sort of expanded. We do work throughout the Verde watershed, and we really are about promoting the health of the Verde River and its tributaries. So we do a lot of trail building with volunteers in that, but we also have a really large initiative, the Verde Watershed Restoration Coalition, which is doing an invasive plant removal project along the Verde, and we're working with public and private partners to do that work. And we're trying to address those invasive species and to improve the habitat along the river. And that habitat is improved for us folks that want to kayak and use the river in that way, for our animals, our bird species, and all of that. So we really work to try to make sure that the Verde is as healthy as it can be, and that there's access to it, and that people can really understand the value that it gives to our community.
Do you guys have kind of a feather in your cap you'd like to talk about, maybe? One of the projects that's really awesome.
I think the habitat improvement invasive species project is really exciting because we not only partner with our public land managers like the Prescott and the Coconino National Forest and the Arizona State Parks, but we have almost 200 private landowners who live along the Verde, Oak Creek, Clear Creek, and a lot of the tributaries that are partners in this program and that are working with us to sort of address this habitat improvement issue on a system-wide basis. So we're not just sort of addressing it a little piece here, a little piece there. We're really saying, okay, let's look at the Verde, its tributaries in its entirety, and how do we make sure that these invasive species don't take over so our habitats for animals, humans, birds, whatever it isn't degraded. So that's really exciting to see that public-private partnership. And when I started, and you mentioned Steve had been doing this work before I came, people were surprised. They were like, you're not going to get private landowners. They're not going to want to talk to folks about what they should be doing with their land. And people open their doors wide to us and say, sure, come on in. Tell me what I should do. What plants are native? What should I have taken out? And so that's really exciting to see that partnership develop.
And that's kind of a surprise that somebody would even think that the landowner who built their property next to the Verde River, I mean, the sole reason to be next to the Verde River is to be able to see the Verde River.
Right.
So if it's gone and it's covered in all these plants that you don't want there.
Right, and you've got giant patches of arundo, so you can't see the river any longer.
Darn arundos, I tell you. They're totally out of control, aren't they?
It's the Arundodonax. It's out of control.
Absolutely awful. So the project's going well, though, right?
Yeah, it's going wonderfully. And as I said, we have over 200, or just about 200 private landowners, and we've been doing work on the Upper Verde, all the way up above Perkinsville. We've been working with the Coconino and Prescott National Forest down in the Wild and Scenic area. We've been doing a lot of work on private land and public land in Oak Creek. So, so that has been really exciting to sort of be able to look at a map and say, oh wow, look, we've worked on all of these properties here. We've taken out the invasive plants. Those landowners are now saying, okay, we get what you've done. We're going to now maintain it, make sure that they don't grow
the key
back.
Right there.
Yeah, that's a biggest challenge about it. But we're able to see the progress, and so we are always asking anybody who lives along the Verde, lives along Oak Creek, any of the tributaries, and wants to learn about what they're doing to call me. My phone number's all over the place.
Okay, all right.
We'll come out and visit you and talk about what you've got going on.
Excellent. And then Tina, you're with West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation. Tell me about you guys.
Yeah, we serve individuals in West Yavapai. In the West Yavapai area, and it's a community mental health-based organization. The foundation, the clinic started in 1966. It was a grassroots operation, and then in 1986, the foundation came in because with limited resources as far as state dollars that come in for mental health, which is a big issue right now, we went out and we fundraise and do things for our community. An example of that is we have a short-term counseling program called Jumpstart. So if you have no insurance whatsoever, you can come to us for 3 to 5 problem-solving sit-down solutions for mental health and be provided the opportunity to feel better. We want to make our community happy and healthy mentally, because it transcends to every aspect of the community.
Oh, yeah.
And we treat individuals from birth to, I think our last client in Jumpstart was 90. So, I mean, we have all sorts of different ages that we treat. Another great program that we do is suicide prevention. It's a huge issue in this area and in the state of Arizona. So we do a lot of outreach. We do programming. We do free presentations for civic organizations and government and schools and that kind of thing.
Awesome. We have to take another break, okay? Let's take another break. Okay, this is countywide. We're talking about Arizona Gives Day. It's coming up on April 9th. azgives.org is the website you're going to want to go to for more information. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Siller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're going to need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. You can't change the past, but you can definitely change the future. That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Yeah, like I'm a big in Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I'm torn about the email I send out to my friends. Who do I tell them to
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got a couple minutes left of the program. Some websites for you to jot down. azgives.org. April 9th is Arizona Gives Day. VerdeRiverGreenway.org.
Yes.
We'll put you in touch with Laura and her group. And then wygc.org. We'll put you in touch with Tina Blake. And that's for the West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation. There's all kinds of nonprofits involved. We want to make sure we mention that because maybe your nonprofit, maybe your nonprofit doesn't suit somebody's needs. But I think when we started the show, there are literally hundreds of them on there, right?
In Yavapai County alone, there's 60, and they run the gamut of animal welfare groups, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, other community-based organizations. We do river work. They do mental health work. So if you don't have a nonprofit that you're necessarily affiliated with right now, if you go to azgives.org, you'll be able to search by zip code, by title, by the type of organization to find somebody that you feel like you want to actually help support. So we encourage people to do that because you may find somebody you know. You may find somebody that you realize, oh, my neighbor does volunteer work there, or my cousin actually works there.
Right.
So there may be other ways that people make connections to organizations in the community.
We got a little time left. We got about a minute left. Let me ask you this. Do you all need volunteers?
Yes.
You mentioned that word, volunteers.
Yes, volunteers are the backbone of the nonprofit sector, and we are always looking for volunteers. And Laura and I were giggling because we were like, well, we don't know because we're involved in so many other nonprofits. Her is a big, and me working with the Teen Center, that we were like, oh yeah, how do we divide our own giving that day? But you can divide your giving to multiple nonprofits. You can volunteer for multiple nonprofits. It's a great just opportunity. Again, what Laura said was was perfect. You know, the opportunity to connect, educate, and you know, collaborate together to make a difference in this community.
Okay, we're almost out of time. But you told me, Laura, at the beginning of the show, I don't have to give you $1,000, $100, $1 million, as low as?
As low as $10,
right.
And as large as you'd like to give.
Exactly.
As much as you'd like to give.
All right, I want to thank you both for coming in. This was a very good show. I enjoyed doing this. Laura Jones, she's the Community Outreach Coordinator for Friends of the Verde River Greenway. And then Tina Blake, she's the Development Director at West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation. azgives.org is the website you want to look at. It's coming up on April 9th, AZ Gives Day. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide, and we will talk to you again next time.